Guess who's back? Yeah. It's Dude Nim, and we in the building, bringing you the latest in the news, hip-hop, sports, and entertainment. And we got Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith. Little beef they got going. But we ain't quite sure if Pat McAfee is beefing because he totally winning, that contract he got. But we surely know that Stephen A. Smith is trying to double down on the speculations that him and Pat McAfee got a little beef going on. Yeah. Now, ever since that Fox Sports or ESPN at First Take had to cut ties with a lot of their employees, Stephen A. Smith wanted to be the highest paid earner over there. To come to find out that Pat McAfee got that big boy contract. And, a lot of people were saying that Stephen A. Smith was slick hating on that and have been hating on Pat McAfee and throwing slick shade at Pat McAfee ever since he came over there. Now, Stephen A. Smith today, the other day, I think that's had to be exact, tried to double down on the speculations and trying to get in front of everything like he always do. Now, we gonna get into this video clip, but first, I would love for y'all to smash that like button right now if you like any parts of this content. Now, let's get to the video, and I'll give y'all my commentary in the end.
A story that was printed just a couple of days ago in the New York Post, where folks were alluding to some dispute that I allegedly had with my colleague at ESPN, Mr. Pat McAfee. It's a few things that are incredibly important to say. Number one, there is no dispute whatsoever. Pat McAfee is my teammate. Pat McAfee and I work together at ESPN. There is no banishment from First Take or any other show. He is more than welcome to come on First Take in the future, and I'm going to be more than welcome to come on his show. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I'm going to try this one more time, not just relying on a statement or a quote that I issued through ESPN, but I'm going to look into the cameras and say this to you nationally and globally. I root for my teammates. I root for my colleagues. I don't root against anybody. The people out there who do that are idiots. A rising tide raises all boats. If you succeed, I succeed. I cannot tell you how thankful and grateful I am to Pat McAfee, to Shannon Sharp, to Ryan Clark. The list goes on and on. Individuals who had the courage to go out there on their own and create a platform, which ultimately evolved into a business that they could then monetize, because you have linear networks and others willing to come on board and pay them for their content, thereby enabling them to get paid while being independent contractors and business owners without necessarily being employees. That is not something to hate on. That is something to show gratitude for. That's why I'm thankful to the Pat McAfees of the world. That's why I'm thankful and happy when I see the ratings or the numbers for Club Shay Shay or the Nightcap or Joe Rogan getting a $250 million deal or Bill Simmons before him on Spotify or Dan Le Batard with Meadowlark Media, or All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson signing on with Dan Le Batard and John Skipper and their team. The list goes on and on and on. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. The business is evolving. And individuals who were employees, who had nothing to rely upon other than their on-air talent, have transformed and transitioned into being actual businessmen. That is not something to hate. Whether it's any of the names that I mentioned, the McAfees, the Le Batards, the Shannon Sharps, the Ryan Clarks, the list goes on and on. No, that's something to revere. Joe Rogan is somebody I admire. Bill Simmons is somebody I admire. Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharp and Ryan Clark. You know what courage it takes for them to go out on their own and to create platforms? You know what courage it takes for a Brandon Marshall with I Am Athlete to strive to create his own brand and to establish his own entity? You have any idea what level of gravitas that takes, the risk that comes with it, the willingness to bet on yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't have that courage. I was a straight up punk. God bless my mother's wonderful soul. She was somebody that put her head down and punched that clock as a registered nurse and was about the business of going to work every day, doing your job, punching that clock, going home, getting your rest, and coming back the next day to do it, and looking forward to her pension in retirement. The new generation thinks differently. We ain't trying to depend on the pension. We're watching the government and messing with our money and whether or not the funds are going to be available in Social Security checks and beyond. What's going to happen to our 401ks, our IRAs, and all of that other stuff. Nah, we ain't trying to do that. We're trying to do something bigger. We're trying to do something different. We're trying to do something more lucrative. And all those individuals I mentioned, including Pat McAfee, are responsible for helping to position people like myself and others to do what they did years ago, building what they built. Animosity, anger, friction, tension, please. It's gratitude. I'm thankful to them all because they showed me the way. And when everybody wants to talk about my money and my bag and my contract and all of this other stuff, I'm incredibly grateful for what Disney and ESPN has done for me for years. When they paid me years ago, I was the highest paid person in the history of ESPN at that time. Well, since that time, it wasn't my time. Now my time is coming up again in less than 16 months. We'll see what happens, but there's no animosity. There's no anger. There's no hostility. There's no feelings of unfairness. There's none of that. Just gratitude. For them, put me in a position where I could do that, because I wouldn't have been able to do this show right here if it were not for ESPN allowing me to carve out something in my contract that gave me the freedom to do this. I'm grateful to them. Just like I'm grateful to McAFee. Just like I'm grateful to Rogan. Just like I'm grateful to Shannon Sharp and everybody else. Showing me the way. Wherever I go, wherever I end up, whatever I do, I have all of them to thank. My employers and my contemporaries. There's no gratitude, there's no animosity.
So let me get this right. We just go sit up here and watch Stephen A. just lie to us like that? Like we actually don't be knowing and hearing what's going on behind the scenes? Now, some might say that Stephen A. has earned the right to want to be the alpha male over there. He has been doing it for quite a long time, but it's a new era. You got the likes of Shannon Sharp. You got the likes of Joe Rogan. You got the likes of a lot of people in the podcasting field that is making it very difficult for the people that been doing it for a long time, like Stephen A. Smith and even Skip Bayless. It's been time for them to be replaced, and new faces are taking over the game. And Stephen A. Smith know that this is coming. That's one of the reasons why he got his own show. Stephen A. Smith been seeing this coming. He been wanting to renew that contract, but I don't think they really want to renew it with him. They see that the field is different. You can even go see over there on Undisputed. Their ratings are down. Their views are down. You look at Club Shay Shay and Shannon Sharp. He's doing 1 million plus every day. Even with Nightcap with Club Ocho Cinco. So Stephen A. Smith, it has been speculated, allegedly, that you and Pat McAfee has been beefing. Well, really, it's you. You throwing slick shade at that man. You mad at the contract that he got. You want to be the boss dog over there, the highest paid. But your time has ran out, Stephen A. Your time has ran out. All the boot licking and buck dancing you've been doing for the white man, yeah, they're about to replace you. It's a new era. It's a new day in the podcasting field, and people are monetizing their stuff a lot different now. Yeah. But y'all let me know in the comment box below what y'all think about Stephen A. Smith sitting up here telling that bold face lie. And if this your first time to the channel, come on, you already know what to do. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. This dude them in the building. And don't forget to turn on your notifications by tapping that little bell in the corner. See that little bell? Yeah. Go on, tap that. Go on, tap that. It ain't gonna hurt you. Yeah, tap that bell real quick so you can get notified whenever we drop new content. This dude them, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Yeah.